Good karma, bad mom. Good karma, bad mom. Good karma, bad mom. Your new fave crew. Tell a friend tune in, yeah, so they can listen to.
Hello, my name is Karma, and this is my mom, Tihesha.
Hello.
And this is our podcast, Good Karma, Bad Mom.
And today we are going to be talking about misunderstood millennials versus Gen Z. And thank you for coming back to join us. And as you know, you can follow us, comment. If there's a topic that you would like to hear, please let us know. We gladly talk about it. And we're just going to dive right in. Mm-hmm. So, again, it's the misunderstood millennials versus Gen Z. And I'm going to dive right into my first question. And it's, how come Gen Z is so sensitive?
I don't know if I know how to answer that. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, I just feel like with so many different things, I didn't have it in my generation, and now you guys have it. Like, cancel culture is definitely one of them. And don't get me wrong, I definitely think in some regards it sheds light on like amazing things. But then in some facts, it just seems like, I mean, even on here, we just joked about a couple of times just about sharing an opinion and you're like, oh, better not say that. We could get canceled. It's just like, clearly I know what cancel and I know what culture is. Like separately, I never knew it to be combined until your generation. Like, so I mean, in that way, like,
I don't know how to answer this question. I don't know why my mind's going blank. I feel like, I think there's a lot of things to where it's just people have opinions and they think like I must be heard. I think that's also a big thing with cancel culture. Or they just focusing on like the cancel culture thing. I feel like it's more of, I don't know if entitlement is the right word. I don't know if you can help me here. But it's like, I think like, it's like, oh, I don't like that, so I can cancel you.
right. And do you think that maybe it's so high and that you guys are so sensitive? And I'm going to say you guys because I'm speaking of a generation. It's just something that I feel as a millennial that I see. And I'll get in some of the key differences as well, too, that makes me think why this is so. But do you think that maybe it's because you're in an age of social media that it's ramped up so high that you're seeing everything and that you think that seeing how you're seeing everything, that you get a say in everything?
I think that seems very much like, that's actually a really good point. And I feel like, social media plays a really big part because it's like, oh, well, if I can see it, I can say how I feel, you know?
Right, and not that you shouldn't be saying what you feel or anything in that regard. It just seems like then it turns into something to canceling something. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we found out that somebody did something 20 years ago. And it's like, oh, we're about to cancel this person right now.
Mm-hmm. That does suck sometimes when it's like, I really like this person and everybody's like, we actually hate them. And then I always do this. I was like, you guys need to learn to separate the art from the artist. And I just use that as an excuse because there is a couple people, like, I mean, just to come out and be like one that everybody knows, it's like, Kanye says crazy things. I'm still going to be listening to his music. And honestly, I will still be talking about him because some of the things he does is funny. Like me, especially, I have a little brother who's 14, so he's very much like, he shook hands with the KKK as a black man. That's hilarious. And sometimes it is funny just to laugh at something that's so childish. Like, you know, instead of being like, oh, I am so offended. You know, so I think...
Yeah. And I think that what also happens in that regard is the inability to realize when somebody's chasing, as you guys say, clout, mm-hmm. and doing something for a show because they know, what is it, a wow factor, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like sometimes when somebody's doing these things, just like Kanye, I just feel like it's just a way to stay
relevant.
Relevant. People speaking on him and everything, and good or bad. Because as we know, good or bad press, it's still press. If people are talking about you.
I need to pause. Why is his wife always naked?
It's a thing as well too. It's just the whole grabbing people's attention. Look, here we are. Now we're talking about his wife being naked. There's a reason why people do the things that they do. And some people would be like, oh, we need to cancel them. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like it's that whole thing. And it also seems as if...
I think cancel culture should be left for things that are actually harmful, and other than like, oh, this hurts my feelings a lot. Like, I feel like, no, like, that's actually, he did a horrible thing. Like, that's horrible and harmful. I think that's what you should be like, get him.
Yeah, I feel like just because somebody's opinion doesn't collide with somebody else's, I mean, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that should be what determines if we're going to cancel somebody or not. Mm-hmm. But you guys are really high up on canceling. Sometimes I feel like for like no reason, just like emotionally felt like you guys have been done wrong. Like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm about to show you. It's like, whoa there. Calm down, Jamal.
I don't know the mind. But I don't know. Have you seen that clip of Jaden Smith where he's sitting with the interviewer? And he's like, the interviewer's like, oh, your generation is so weird nowadays. And he says something like, yeah, I know. It's like, can we talk about something of relevance? And it's just, he looks so cringe and crazy. And I don't know why, because it just felt off topic. And it's a really
so this
clip.
Is something that clearly gets spoken about. I had no idea. So he wanted to switch the subject?
No, the interviewer said something. He was like, kids nowadays, am I right? And then on Jaden Smith, he was like, it's a huge meme. He was just like, I know. Whenever I'm around kids nowadays, can we talk about something of relevance in society? My gosh. And it's just, people are really egging on him.
Oh, so he was about it as well, too. Okay.
But he said it. No, but he said it in such a, like, cringe way.
Okay. Well, then that's another thing as well, too. You guys say cringe. And in that regard, like, what does that even mean? He said it in such a cringe way.
It's just the way he said it almost is just like, ooh, now I gotta laugh.
That's what cringy means?
Well, no, cringe is like, yeah.
Right. So.
But he said in such a, like, imagine, I shouldn't have even brought it up. I thought you would know what it was.
No, I have questions as well, too. And I tell you all the time, even when you're like, oh, on TikTok, we watch completely different things. Things that you find funny, I don't find funny at all. I don't find the relevancy.
He said it in a pick-me way. That was a good way to... He said
okay, so it was cringy because it seemed as if, like, he was agreeing, but too strong. Like, because I've heard you say that as well, too. I don't want to come off as a pick-me. And it's like, I agree with what's being said. Does that make me a pick-me? Or am I just an agreeant?
Like, oh, I agree with you. Love me. Choose me.
Like, more over the top with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, just said, like, is a pick-me somebody that does not have that same thought? Like, and then in that moment, they switch it to be picked and to be liked? Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be more...
I feel like, yeah, but just also think of, like, I feel like the most common is just, like, a girl that's like, I'm not like other girls. I don't do makeup. I like pizza.
Are you attacking me?
No.
I don't do makeup and I love pizza. Pick me. All right. So before we get too off topic or streaming in different directions, how we possibly go on different tangents, how we do. You guys grew up in an age of social media. Mm-hmm. Like high social media.
Oh, yeah.
I even feel bad. So what's the generation below you that's coming up?
Gen Alpha? Like, what's the next generation?
Yeah.
Gen Alpha, which actually, I have a question on this.
Okay.
My question...
I hope I know it. If not, I'm Google ready.
Well, no, it's like my question.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm about to Google it.
This happened a couple times where, like, you say something and it fits perfectly into my question.
I'm segueing in, okay?
The new generation of kids and how they all lost their manners. Like, immediately what I think of as an example is the whole Sephora thing where kids were just going in and rampaging. First of all, you're 9, you don't need to worry about your wrinkles, which I think is also because of social media. Like, there's little girls being...
Well, social media and their parents. How are these kids getting there at 9? So it's their parents. So there's certain things that I definitely put off on kids, like, what the hell? Well, there's a lot of shit that I put off on parents because why are you allowing your kid to do that? And I think it segues back to social media. I think it hits back to these parents putting their kids in a position to be on social media, be it good or bad. Because look, now we are sitting here talking about kids running wild in Sephora at the age of 9, doing things, purchasing things, running amok, whatever it is, all because this content is now on social media. Mm-hmm. To me, they're not even real topics. So I'm placing myself into hypothetical situations that aren't even real. And it seems like it doesn't even seem clearly you guys love it. And like you just said, I love the drama of it all. So I feel like also I never was into reality TV. Maybe this is your guys' reality TV as well.
I got into a couple reality.
I watched like 2 things, but no, there was like real TV. I think that's what it was called, like Real TV or something like that. Like
the Housewives in like Jersey Shore.
Right, and then even before that, there was just different reality shows. I mean, now there's like Big Brother and all that stuff. I was gonna say that as well. I couldn't tell you what any of that.
3 Housewives, Jersey Shore, Big Brother.
I couldn't tell you what any of that stuff is about. But it almost seems like in like the clips, like the short TikTok clips, because your guys' extension, blah, blah, blah. Your attention span is like so short, and it seems like it is so short from social media, right? You just mentioned TikTok, getting into these quick little videos and clips. So you're watching so many videos at a high rate at such a short capacity, right? It's like, what, a minute or so? So this is now what your attention span has turned into, of just a minute or so. You're able to focus it on something. It seems like the same length that a quick TikTok video would be.
So I honestly feel targeted and attacked, first of all.
Okay. I get
because when TikTok got banned, I was one of those people that I was like, well, I'm just going to delete it, and then I was locked out for a while. And I went to Instagram Reels, and just in that short amount of time, because, later on they you were able to download TikTok again, and I did immediately.
And she did.
But when I didn't have TikTok for what was it, maybe 2 weeks or whatever, I felt like I was watching movies. I remember I forced my Jamaican Mango, my boyfriend, into watching Brother Bear. Yeah, Brother Bear. And Lion King, and I was just like, let's watch a movie. And he hates movies. So it's just like my attention span was there again. I was watching YouTube videos more. And then now that I don't have a flip phone, and my only way to access TikTok...
No, now that you have a flip phone.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now that I have a flip phone and I have my only way to access TikTok is through my boyfriend's phone. I really I'm watching YouTube. That's all I watch. And they're long videos. So it's like my attention span is way better now that I don't have TikTok. I feel like it just all goes down to TikTok, because when I didn't have TikTok, I still had Instagram Reels, and I mean, trust me, I was on it as much as I was on TikTok. But I still was like, I don't know look at the science.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a rabbit hole we could definitely go down, because there is science that proves that these platforms and everything were made specifically to engage you and disengage you in the same way. Engage you in these videos, but then disengage you from society and what's actually going on. And there's things about the rays that are coming off of our
blue
screens and things. Yeah, so it's that whole thing. And I apologize. Did you ask me a question? Is it your turn for a question?
I did.
Or is it my turn?
I did the new generation of kids and how they lost all manners.
Oh, right. And because I brought it back to me feeling as if it's a parent thing. Because at that point in time, you're still so young that that's stuff that is taught to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes you want to shake a kid, but even more so, I want to shake a parent, because why are you letting your kid act like this? I mean, you just so happen to be mine, so you know that it's nothing that I would tolerate.
Well, there's certain things, I feel like even it goes past the new generation. I just feel like parents, I think with both in and ours, it's just like, I'm just so glad that you were like, you're not doing this. I don't like that. Stop this. So now it's just like, I get bringing it up all the time. When the one girl, when I was like, my mom grounded me and I can't go to this thing, and she's like, just sneak out.
That's what would have happened. You would have got a pow pow.
But even nowadays, when I see like certain, like, just how when I see, also what gets me is how people talk to their parents, or even more talk about their parents. Like, just now, especially since I feel like when you live at home, it's like, okay, well, this is just, I see you and I know not to talk to you like that. But I'm now just surrounded by a bunch of teenagers, and just, I can't say like who this was, because, I mean, not that they'll ever watch, but somebody I was around, just on the phone, talking completely, like calling her so many names.
Yeah, you told me that.
And the mom's just like on the other line. I don't know if she was muted or what, but it's just like, and then my friend, she was telling me, she was like,
so not to cut you off, but in that time when they get off the phone, because you were right there, do you say anything?
I just be looking at her crazy. I'm just like,
see, and
because
I feel
she
like
had
that's
her other friends there, and I'm just, because I didn't like her.
That was one big thing I was big into, even when I was younger, especially when I was younger, because that's really when it's relevant.
Like, whoa, that's crazy.
If they said something crazy about their parents or something, or just sounded completely disrespectful, not venting to me, but talking to their parents disrespectful, I would check that shit so fast. So I know what you mean. It's just like, what? You talk to why are you talking to them like that?
It's like, that's your parent.
Whatever's happening that I possibly may not know about in this moment right now, you sound crazy.
Mm-hmm. And then I feel like people, like, sometimes it's just like, I guess, yes, there's exceptions to this law. It's like, well, they're an abusive piece of crap. But it's just, they began
it's not those situations that I've witnessed.
Up and hefty over the littlest. Yeah, because I remember the one situation, it was just like, you have to break up with your girlfriend. Whatever. We're like, good. The age gap there was crazy. So it's like, okay. And she's just like, at her, but my thing is, at your big age. Because I know I've gotten upset with you because in the past you've been like in middle school, you're like in middle school. So it's like, obviously I'm just, it's like, you're how old in college? And you're reacting like that. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't get it. And then I still feel with the whole generation thing between us is how, I mean, we didn't get into the science of it, and I only shed a little light on the science of it all. I guess just the fact that I didn't prove anything that says that there is science behind it that would prove how these tools are used and what way they're used to be able to control us. And I also find that with social media is that it took away from your guys' inability to communicate. I will say not yours.
Oh, you're talking about in person?
Yes, in person. It's just like, if I'm at the store, anywhere where I have to interact. I mean, we've even talked about this with some of the people that you possibly hang out with and our friends, and I could see somebody and it's just like head down. They definitely like, do not say a word to me. So I'm just like, hey.
I love to wave. No one waves anymore. I remember like a couple months ago, I was just, because I thought, like, if you're in a class with someone, you talk for a little bit, that means you're on a waving level. There's been so many instances where I'm talking to my Jamaican mango. And I'm like,
it's a good thing. I just think about when we were in the Apple store and that worker was like so damn excited. And I even said that like after, like, that is you. First, listeners, we're in the Apple store. I can't remember exactly what we were getting.
Oh, AirTags.
Oh, yes.
Getting a trip for Japan.
We'll talk about that in another episode. So we're getting the AirTags, and you know how they have you like move over here, move over there, move over there. So there's this worker, and I mean, she put on the biggest smile and wave. And I was
You
like,
think it was like your long last
I was
best
like,
friend.
And genuinely, all I could do was smile back because she had such a big smile. Her smile and wave was like you just said, oh, I know you. So I was like, Karma, do you know her? And you're like, no. And then I was like, do I know her? Like,
we talked about it for months.
Yeah. So I just, not everybody waves, but the excitement, I could see how it could throw somebody off just because I've been in that situation and I was just like, I waved back, but I did not meet her with the same energy that she came with me because I'm like,
and it's hurtful.
Well, cause it's like, is this a I know you wave? Like, come over here, talk to me? I don't know.
Well, because I just like to wave and whatever.
Well, it gets back. We got to get back to what we were talking about, and that was the communicating. I feel as if since you guys are on social media, you're texting. In my generation, we did not text. I didn't text until I got older, and then even when texting became a thing, you were charged by the characters and everything that you sent. So that is also something that you guys do not understand. So we had to communicate because our devices that we did have that were new and up and coming would not allow us to communicate. You guys have just unlimited. Oh, we did not. I came from a time where we did not have that. So and even to use the cell phone, we weren't even using the cell phone like that because, again, we were being charged. Catch me on nights and weekends.
Hello. Well, no, I know a couple people to where it's just like,
don't know how to communicate. Mm-hmm. How come you can't just talk to me? How come if you see me and you don't say anything? I've seen multiple of your, like I said, friends or whatever out and about, people of your generation that clearly we know each other won't say a damn word. And then I see other people of your generation that will communicate and say something. And it's so much so that when this is something that even me and Essence will see when we're together, that's my man. It's just like, wow, they have good communication skills. Like, they communicate. They actually said something.
I just like saying hi. It's fun.
It's even beyond hi, more than just hi, actually talking. And you're a talker, so like I said, it's not you, but it's a generational thing. The communication, I feel, is like out the window.
I've asked people, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, because I was about to say, I mean, you even know it firsthand as well, too. But people don't talk, and they're like, oh, I messaged them in an app. And it's like, oh, so you saw this person face to face, and you chose not to say anything? And then you chose to message them? Oh, okay.
Well, sometimes I feel like, because, like, that sucks. Like, how do you, like, I don't even know how you would work past that. So sometimes.
You communicate.
Yeah, but if you have that, like, the way I try to imagine it is you, like, there's a person here, you're here, and all you feel is just fear and anxiety. Like, how do you move past that? That's how I always try to be understanding.
No, in that regard, if it is somebody that you like, okay, I get it. That makes sense. But with the world around you, if you're a store associate and you're working, it's just things where you're supposed to communicate with somebody. Mm-hmm. I could go to Hannaford right now, and depending on the age of the person that's checking me out, I'm not going to get anything from this person.
Yeah,
and it's just like, at least just, hey, how you doing today? You know, something, like, say something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it also comes with the lack of discipline and I guess what people call now, it's like gentle parenting.
Ugh. Gentle parenting only works on gentle kids.
And I just feel like, yeah, certain things aren't going to work on everybody. And I don't think that you have to spank your kid. That's why I didn't spank you. And I know that.
But there's a tone. You can't. Gentle parenting only works on gentle kids, and not your 5-year-old isn't gentle.
Well, just not only that, I also just feel like my mom would be like, well, I spanked you because I was spanked and that's all I know. Mm-hmm. Granted, that would be my logic, right? That would be all I know. But I know that when I was spanked, that shit didn't work. Because I got spanked multiple times for the same damn thing. I do, in some regards, feel that it didn't make a difference. It made a difference, excuse me. I feel like it made a difference in, or maybe it was just grandma. I knew that she would spank me with certain things, but then there was just certain things I knew not to do. And when I say spank, audience, let me be clear. I don't mean abuse or anything like that. Yes, I was spanked. My mom sometimes spanked my ass. But in no way, shape, or form was I ever abused as a kid. My mom met me with more love than she's ever raised any type of hand to me. And she was loving and she was stern, and I'm more loving than stern. But it was definitely an equal balance of knowing what not to cross the line. I knew buttons and stuff I could push and how far I could get, but I also knew, regardless of a spanking or not, and that's why I felt as if it really didn't make a difference. It was her, how she delivered everything, and I won't say fear, that respect that she instilled into me to have for her. I knew one thing I would never do, no matter what, would be to put my hands on my mother.
Well, yeah.
But some of these kids, they're just waiting for the moment. Waiting for the moment to put their hands on their parent or...
Oh, I feel like it's a... if you don't feel like this is right, we can cut this out. But I feel like it's a thing with genders. Because I know that I've heard a million times where it's like, well, my dad used to beat me, but then I got too big to where it's just like, do something, I'm going to do it right back. Because, obviously, not saying that this can't happen with girls. I just feel like when you think of a little tiny... Like, I'm just thinking of my brother right now. Compared to, like... My father is like, when you're gonna get taller, and then this is the, like, beat me, I dare you. So I feel like with certain things, just like, I've heard so many stories where, with guys that's like, well, it just got to a point where it's like, what are you gonna do, beat me? I can do it right back. Because I'm bigger and stronger than you now.
Well, you're bigger than me.
And stronger.
Is that what you think?
No.
Are we about to turn this into a live boxing match? No, I hear what you're saying in some degree, but I think that there's also a point to where just spanking stop. Mm-hmm. Because even though I was spanked, there was the point where it stopped. And it had nothing to do with me ever putting my hands on my mom. It's just like, there's nothing else I can do at this point. Like... To put my hands on you as a grown person is not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to abuse you, but if it wasn't working and it's not putting you in the direction, I guess it's probably like, what's the point? Because don't ever underestimate a parent's strength, so to say. Because I feel like, they say like dad strength and mom strength. It's a real thing. Mm-hmm. I feel like it would not turn out so good sometimes. Probably for either the boy child, the son. I was like, yeah, I don't know, like, what would it be? Son or the daughter? Son or the... Yep. We're just going to move past that. But also, I feel like I guess this goes back to, like, possibly sensitivity as well, too, would be just how different our generations were growing up as well, too. For one, you have social media, and that's what I was getting at before, is the generation that's coming up behind you. I feel even worse for them because I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing because they're so inducted into it. Well, growing up with it to the fullest that I don't know if they're going to be able to navigate it and be able to... I guess not navigate it, but maybe have it as if like, oh, it's just normal to them. But I know that when I was growing up, I didn't have anything like that, and just things were so different. So for me, when I grew up, we had this term called latchkey kid. Again, well, I won't even say again. Do you know what a latchkey kid is? So a latchkey kid, and I learned this term when I lived up north, when we moved up north. So we lived in Connecticut, and then your grandma moved us up north. You've heard the story 1,000,001 times. And so what a latchkey kid is I don't know what I was going to, in essence, that's what I was about to say, is you had a key. And it would either be on like a little necklace, something that it was attached to your body, because as much as we're independent in that regard of getting ourselves in the house, a key could easily be lost. So it was a matter of keeping it on you. So it was like latched to something. So that's where the phrase came from. And it's a whole group of kids that you were home alone, and it was known that you were home alone before your parent got home from work. And even some schools, they extended later hours till probably like, I remember like 4. So you could stay on the playground. There would be somebody there with you if it's nice outside, right? You're outside on the playground. If it's not nice outside, you're inside, possibly in the gym or whatever, just hanging out with kids. And that way your time home wasn't that long by yourself. And then you let yourself in. Speaking of the whole key thing, your grandma was something else.
Still is.
Don't talk about my mom. She used to, I've lost a couple of keys. And you would think that the key had like our house number and everything on it. In her mind, I felt like if the key was lost, if somebody found it, they knew exactly where we lived. Oh, you lost the key? Like, would really go in, and then had me believing like, uh-oh. But now I'm thinking about like
a credit card.
Yeah, like how are they going to identify this key with where we are? Or are they checking every door? I digress. Anyways, it was a whole thing, and I feel like you guys don't have that right now. Not that you don't stay home alone, but I mean, we were young. I remember walking home from school, me and Auntie, and waiting a couple hours until your grandma got home. And like there was rules set into place. Don't open the door. You don't answer the phone. And your grandma, she would try to quiz us too. I remember one day she knocked on the door and we couldn't see through the keyhole. I opened the door. I don't know why I opened the door. I even tried to be like, I knew it was you. She's like, you know damn well you didn't know it was me. I got in trouble. Let's just say I didn't open the door from that point on. Because she's like, I have a key. If it's me, I'm going to let myself in. Why are you opening this door? And not that it came with any spanking, seeing how I'm sure that's probably what some people are thinking, since I had already mentioned how I was spanked in certain incidences. It came with a talking to and letting me know why I can't open this door. It was like, you open this door, somebody could grab you. Somebody could be in the house. It's real life stuff like that. Something that goes way past anything.
Which you think, you saying that, you took over the conversation, so it's my turn to talk now.
Yep, I did.
Well, that just also reminds me, I don't know if you remember, but when Grandma was living in her old house, the white one, and the door, like, opened up a little bit. It was clearly the wind or something, but she goes, come right in. And we were all like, now what if that was a ghost you just let in? And so it's just like, clearly you should have gave her a talking to. Like, but to go back is, I've seen so many like videos where it's like, my toddler before Coco Melon, and like before I gave him a tablet, and then after, and it's just this complete demon. So just to go back on your whole social media thing and how you feel bad for the kids now. Yeah. It's like, I think maybe it but it makes so much sense. And then I've also seen so many parents getting dunked on, like cracked.
Okay.
Because they're like, oh, I don't want to give my kids like sugar like this. They're not allowed to have this at their young age, which makes sense. Like, why are we giving kids all these sugars? They can do
all
that
the
when they're
stuff
older.
it does, yeah.
And they get like so, it's crazy just how like we're hating on people for wanting to be better for their children. But I digress. Along with TV shows, if like the amount of times I've seen TikToks where it's like, oh, TV shows I let my kids have, TV shows they're not allowed to have it. Everybody's like, your kid's gonna hate you when they get older. And they're always like, every kid that I know that didn't watch SpongeBob growing up is so boring. I'm like, damn.
That's funny. Because I just thinking about the whole what kids aren't allowed to watch or this and that. Your grandma would not let us say dope. Like as the slang word.
Yeah, like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah, no. Couldn't say it. We couldn't watch MTV when we were younger at a certain age.
That makes sense from what I've heard from MTV.
Yeah,
After dark.
There was certain things that we just weren't allowed to do. Naughty by Nature song, OPP, could not sing it. Like there was just also certain things that we couldn't sing or couldn't watch. So it was like one of those things when I go to somebody else's house and they're able to do that, and I'm just like, you better change this channel. Like, what are you doing? You're able to watch this?
When I went down to North Carolina to visit family, this is when I was first starting in musicals. I loved Heather. Heather has raunchy songs to say, and there was just one song where it's like she curses in it, and younger me was just like, you can play this? Like, your parents can hear you listen. You should put it in headphones. Like, your parents can hear the songs cursing. I was also just that one kid that would, like, let people know in group chats. I was the lame one. I was like, can we not curse? My mom might see this. Or, like, if I would take a photo from, like, Pinterest, I would cross out the curse words. Like, in a meme. Because I was like, my mom, I know curse words are allowed. And I was that lame kid.
I tried hard not to curse when you were younger. And anybody around me, too, I'd be like, if they were about to drop the F-bomb or something, I'd be like, no, we gotta say frick or something, or just...
And now that's all I say.
Yes.
But...
Flick. Excuse me, not frick. Flick.
Well, that just reminds me of what you told me. I don't know if you want me to say this, but you told me, like, you stopped saying a certain word because you were just worried that would be my first word.
Oh, yeah. I definitely, because there was definitely words in my vocabulary that I said a lot. And I was just like, I don't want this to be her first word. So, you gotta switch it up. The things that we do for the little ones that we love. Mm-hmm. Like, what's something that, you get teased about that you just don't understand why we're judging you so hard for?
Like you as a millennial to a Gen Z?
Yeah. That's perfect. Judging. I don't know why it was not coming to me. What's something that we judge on you so hard for, and you know that it's happening because there's certain things that I judge the generation prior to me that I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to think because I feel like there's just a while back, I think maybe like 2 years ago, the millennials were like, actually that was a topic I want to touch on. There was like a war on TikTok against millennials and Gen Z, and it was just really crazy. I can't think of anything, but I feel like I feel like it's a matter of like saying things like, oh yeah, that's a good point, but now you're taking it, blowing it out of proportion. Like with the social media thing, it's like, okay, yes, it's crazy, but also, it's not like I feel like something that you're not willing to listen. It's like, I agree. Crazy. But it's also all we know. So you like to, not saying you, but just from what I've seen, like, just use an example because I can't think of anything else. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, you're dunking on us for this. You're saying all we do is just go on social media and it's all we consume and this, that, and third. Is like, okay, but it's the world we grew up in. You know? So it's like
right, so it's almost like, oh, you're always on social media, but I also, not me personally, But some parents,
I
shoved the tablet
spoon-fed
in
this
my
to you.
yeah. You shoved the tablet in my face.
It's like
You never gave me a book to read.
Right, it's like you weren't pushing me to go outside, and so it's like, this is all I know.
Oh, speaking of going outside, you know what's one thing that I have noticed that I think is crazy? Well, for one, you guys don't go outside, it doesn't seem like.
That's not true. Well, I would just like to touch on this. Whenever people talk about certain things you talk about, it's like, I did that. I feel like you and Dad made sure that I was like, you're going to be outside for a little bit. Also, I had cousins. So it's like, we're playing outside. And I wasn't that big into games, like video games.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not going to, you can be like, do you want to play the Wii? You might get me with that. But it's like, okay, let's go out. And my Nana, she had a really good tree house.
Right.
And a nice backyard. Like a swing set. So it's like, well, let's go outside.
Well, yeah, like,
let's
who
go
doesn't wanna
outside
go
and
outside?
play pretend. We pretend to be warrior cats. I'm setting myself, I'm being vulnerable here. Or we would go outside and we would play with stuffed animals and, like.
Yeah, like those types of things. And
I just had to defend myself for a second.
yeah, no, your defense actually worked because I forgot what I was going to say next.
Oh, yeah.
Not in a good way. Because it was something really good.
It was something about, like, going outside and social media. And
what I realized, you know what's crazy is, and like, tell me if this is something that you noticed as well too. In my generation, when I was in school or whatnot, the amount of kids that I've seen with a cast on from hurting themselves from being outside, being active, is
No, because it's just, there was these three girls. I'm dropping in my head, but not out loud. And they were just always in a cast. And it's like, I don't believe that you're actually hurt. I think you're faking it. And you're limping around for attention, fake. And we were actually just talking about this because there's this one girl who, her TikToks are so cringy.
Oh, and these are TikTok people?
No, like people I went to school with.
Oh,
I saw one of her TikToks, and I recently had one of my friends from high school. He came up to college with me, and I was like, they were even like, oh, well, I feel so bad. She was always hurt. And I was like, I think she was faking it. Like, how do you get hurt that often?
Well, some people have brittle bones.
Yeah, but if you can do cheer, then you don't have brittle bones.
Well, maybe they like to do it, and they do have brittle bones.
Fake. It seems fake.
What are they getting, a fake cast? Was it an actual cast, or was it like one of those like a brace?
And you're on crutches.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual casts.
Well, yeah, I have seen them. Because a lot of the kids, when they're playing sports and stuff, it's just like, you're always hurt. But also,
I don't see no kids nowadays. I mean, not that I want to wish injury on anybody, but I can't even remember the last time I saw a kid in a cast. It was like, I've never broken a bone, knock on wood. So, I mean, lucky for me, I wasn't one of those kids in the cast. But it seemed so cool when I was younger because you get to sign it and have people sign it. Like, what?
I remember when my sister broke her leg, and I told her, I was like, you should break my leg. I'll get all the attention. I'll get attention.
That's funny. I could see that definitely being.
And she was like, I can do it.
And that definitely sounds like something that she would say as well too. Just to say something.
That'd be crazy. How'd you break your leg? My grandma pushed on it really, really hard. Because she did. She's had me set up my leg, and I was like, ow. She was like, well, if I keep going, I'll break it. That's what you want, right?
Well, we gotta teach you guys by like this whole thing. Yeah, it's cool. You think a cast is cool until you have to go through the pain to get it. Yeah. That's what Grandma was trying to show you. She's more of a show and tell. She's not just gonna tell. There has to be some show there. Oh, I said don't touch something because it's hot.
Touch it.
Yeah, go ahead. Touch it.
You've done that before.
Well, if I tell you not to do something, you don't want to listen. Then just go ahead and do it.
You know, to our audience, when we do this, obviously, yes, we have a very good relationship, and I do like to consider you my best friend, and it's so funny watching you go from, like, friendly to full mom mode, and in that moment, you were just like, do it. Like, as if I just did something. You're just like, touch it again. I dare you. So it's funny to see your little switch flip.
Yes. I could see that. It's almost like code switching when I'm at work. If I have to talk to a customer.
Yes. Yeah.
Happens naturally. So we do have some questions from the audience. I'm sure that we've talked about me being a millennial. I was about to say a Gen Z. You being a Gen Z. So now let's dive right into our questions. And are there parenting styles from millennials that Jay-Z plans to keep or completely
Jay-Z?
change? Did I say Jay-Z?
You did.
Well, how's his parenting skills?
Well, it doesn't.
Well,
I don't know
how-
how I feel about Jay-Z sometimes.
A Gen Z.
Oh, with the whole
Karma, let's focus.
mom mode. Say that again.
Are there parenting styles from millennials that Gen Z plans to keep or completely change?
Oh, well, I don't know. But I have seen on TikTok to where it's like things that I'm keeping and
Well, I'm asking you specifically. Is there anything as far as my parenting styles that you would
No.
want to change completely? Or would you just carry them over?
I would carry them over. I would. There's things that I do appreciate that you did, but I bring it up every time. You call so many things that I would never think of disrespectful. You're like, that's disrespectful. And then looking back, it's like in the moment, like, yeah, of course, that's not. You shouldn't do that. Always, whatever. But in that moment, just like, how is this even and it used to get me so mad. And I will continue to talk about it forever because it's just like, or sometimes I'll tell Tyreek about it. I'm like, she would just do it. And like, I'm so glad that she did it because now I feel like I know how to respect people. But it just would always, and over the weekend you called something we did disrespectful, which was it? Yes. But in the moment I'm just like, I'm just trying to get ready. He's taking forever. And I let Tyreek know, I was like, that is exactly what I'm talking about. But I would keep that, unfortunately. I really can't think, you were a really good mom.
Oh, thank
So
you.
It's hard to.
Well, I want you to be better than me. If you find the day that you're a mom, I just want you to be better than what I am. I have one more question. How do you balance being family, friends, and sometimes total opposites at the same time? Oh.
Well, all I can think about is just like, this actually isn't a good example. I was gonna say last night when I accidentally bumped into you and you're just like on the wall, you're like, you've hurt me. I'm dead.
I didn't even do any of that. Oh my
You were very
goodness.
dramatic. You were very dramatic.
Well, I say for me, it's funny, the whole friends thing, I'm going to let that slide because I would always say that...
I'm not your little friend.
Yeah, I'm not your little friend, that you're my friend. Yeah. No, wait. I'm your friend. Yeah, you're not my friend. You guys know what I'm trying to say. And how I deal with us being opposites because in so many ways we are.
But we're so similar.
Yeah, but we're also opposite. We're opposite in the way that you allow people to do things to you that I would never. In the regard of the way that somebody talks to you or...
I'm getting better at standing up for myself.
No, you are. But there was... And I don't know if this was right or wrong. I was quick to put hands on somebody. If they disrespected me... And I think it also was because I went to a predominantly white school when I got into middle school. So people would definitely test that racial boundary, and I was quick to put them back in line. So, and even when I lived in Connecticut, I've just always...
You like to say you used to get in little tussles. You never used that word.
I was about to say I never said that a day in my life, but yeah, I was more hands-on. So in that regard, sometimes I don't understand it that like stick up for yourself. But then at the same token, I'm always like, you don't need to put your hands on somebody. But then sometimes I'm like, punch him in the face. Why are you letting somebody do this to you?
I have gone in, there's been 2 altercations where I have put my hands on somebody. And I remember both times, the first time
Don't get me canceled.
We celebrated to the high moons, and then there was another time a boy referred to me as, oh, you're like a pig with lipstick on. I slapped him in the face. like to say, were like picking on me for like 2 years up to this point. So it's just like, it was near the end of the school year, I was done. And I remember just being like, I know I shouldn't have done it, but Ma, they insulted me.
Yeah, and well, in that sense, the only reason why I was really upset is because what I always say, you hit somebody, you're going to get hit back, right? So you're sitting here, you're old enough. When people are playing when they're younger, it's almost like there is no gender, right? Boys and girls, in that sense of just fighting or whatever, it happens. So that's completely different. But when, not that it's right or wrong, but I feel like the strengths are almost the same because the two people are just so young. Yeah, you're little kids. But if that boy would have put his hands on you, which if I would have been a boy mom, I don't know. Like,
well, but I know this may sound really silly, but it's like, I've been punched before. I've been kicked. I know what it feels like. I know that I can take it. Does it hurt? Yes.
It's not even that. It's now I have to. So with that, it just comes with the people that are going to get involved, right? So that's why I'm always thinking with certain altercations is because now at this point, it's going above you and I. It's now going to probably get into essence in the sense of he's going to be like, a boy hit you, now I have to worry about what he's going to try to do. And at that point, I don't think that there's going to be able to me talk him down only but so much. I don't think like he's going to go out there and, physically hurt somebody, but I just don't want any of those things to happen because somebody's passion is going to be so high. And this is now a 17, 18-year-old young man. At the time, that was about his age. So it's just like...
Well, yeah, but I think sometimes this may be good or not, but it's just I feel like, since I had a majority of boy cousins, you ran it like, it's like if you punch somebody, you expect to get hit. So I know that. So, but when I hit him, I was aware of that fact, and I was ready.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying. I didn't like it just for that fact.
I was just thinking of like, okay, if he hits me, first of all, I know he can't punch hard. Look at him. I digress. But I wasn't even thinking of past that.
Yeah. Oh, well, I just feel like I didn't answer the question. Oh, well, yeah, I feel like the opposites, I only got into part of it, and I mean, that's real small. I was adjusting so many different things, the things that you like, the things that... For me, it was really the whole sports thing and you not being that much of an active person. You were more into like reading, art, and all that stuff is extremely cool. I love who you are as a person and your personality. But that was like...
I know.
I was like such an outside kid. I was such a tom girl. I love to do all those activities. So I thought for sure I was going to have a little mini me that was going to be doing all these things too. Like even when you would play with your cousins, like they would be doing stuff and here you are with your little dolls, just not even caring about what they were doing. Or sometimes here and there you would get involved, but then you're like, nope, I'm just going to start doing my own stuff. And I was like, if I was a kid, I would have been right up in the mix with them. So I handle that just by having understanding.
Yeah, and I mean, I know, shocker, I wasn't an active kid. But I guess I'm grateful that you put me into sports. Forever mad that I had to deal with all that basketball drama. But Taekwondo, I'm glad you put me into that. That was, well, now I get to brag. Like, I always tell Tyreek, I was like, you're not stronger than me. I am a double senior. I got 2 black stripes on my brown belts. I'm so close to being a black belt. You're like, if I didn't just quit for college, I would have been able to wahaya.
Well, also that I'm thinking about, set aside from that, is our clothing differences, our style, our footwear. An audience, this is something.
Our cousins, I'm just thinking about the conversations we've had with our cousins all the time.
It just drives me crazy because I just don't understand it, because this is how much so, because now I'm about to go on my little soapbox for a second. So when Karma was younger, I like sneakers. I like clothing.
Pumas are the best. I like Pumas.
See what I'm saying? I like clothing. I like sneakers. So, seeing how I like these things, I've never been a type of parent that I'm going to get myself something that I wouldn't get my child. I would make sure that she had it first, then I would be able to have it second. That way we could stay in line. Nobody's ever going to be like, Tihesha, you look so fresh, but your child looks so... Except for now. You could say it now because she's able to dress herself and have her own wardrobe and her own opinion on how clothes should go together. But, like I was saying, when Carmen was younger, I would get her Jordans. We would have matching Jordans and all these things. This girl cried because she did not want to have matching Jordans with me. I just wanted to Homer Simpson you so bad, and then cried because she wanted these Payless shoes. And it wasn't like they were a kid brand or something like that. These were some ugly shoes. And I had to sit there and tell her, like, okay, first of all, the reason why I don't want you to get these shoes is because your foot support. I don't want to get you something to where you're not going to have good foot support. If you're looking for something to not be Jordans or something that I like, that's fine. And
something that I like.
I said something that I don't like is fine.
Oh.
Yeah, if you were trying to get a name, not a name brand, a character, that's fine. But I still need you to have good foot support. You used to complain about your feet sometimes when you were younger. So I'm just like, you have got to have good foot support. And I would like to say that even when Carmen was younger, they had like different types of kid shoes in different brands. So she did have like the Sesame Street shoes. She had like these cute pair of Nike Zoe Nikes and those things. So it wasn't just like, oh, you just had her in these, that's why. No. So then she gets older or whatnot. I'm still trying to get her the same stuff that I get. The amount of shoes I have out there that I've bought that are just, why aren't you wearing these? And why are you going for, you like Pumas, that's what I get you now. But it was something that I didn't understand. Because it's not like that was a brand that you always liked. You were just like, oh, I don't care what they are. And I'm like, how don't you care what's on your feet?
I think it's also when you did say the name brand stuff, is I've never been, just a difference between me, just using as a sample, me and my cousin. He's so like, name brand. And it's just like, I couldn't care less.
That was my thing. Well, it's like, I don't care if it's not a name brand. You don't.
I think where I would like to defend myself in front of the court, I prefer comfortability, sometimes over looks. I also feel like that you can pair leggings and a t-shirt together and it looks fine. But I also have gotten to a point in my life where I don't like the way I look. I want to just wear a big hoodie and some sweats. There I defend myself. And I feel like that has been an issue for a big part of my life. And I always tell myself, I was like, well, once I feel confident, I'll wear these clothes. And I have little spurts of, I'm not done. I have little spurts of moments where I've been confident and my outfits have been looking nice. But it's just...
Okay. No, I hear what you're saying there, but that's not the case. Okay?
Say yes.
I say no, because how many times have I said, why do you look homeless? Yeah. That's what I don't understand.
We're getting off topic.
No, we're not. We're still right in line with topic. Like, you don't have to wear anything name brand, but I want you to look good. I tell you all the time, you represent me, I represent you. I'm out in this world, anybody sees me, they're going to be like, oh, that's Karma's mom. Mm-hmm. Anybody sees you, oh, that's Tihesha's daughter. I don't want you looking homeless. Like, why is Karma why does she have a stained up sweater? That has nothing to do with comfortability. That has to do with, I don't know, oh, I'm just going to grab anything and put it on. No. I want you to love the way that you look and to be comfortable, but why are we wearing stained up things? Why are we not taking any pride in putting an outfit together so we look decent? That's what drives me crazy. I just want you to, I don't even care if it's not name brand or anything. It's like, okay, look decent. How many times before we go someplace, what am I Oh, you and your grandma. If we're going to someplace together, what I got to make sure my squad, do we look unison? Do we look like we go together in this category of people that are showing up somewhere? How come it's it's not even a question anymore. It's just some of the differences between us. That is a big difference between us. And how do I handle that? I make her change. Sometimes I'm like, why are you? And I just say it jokingly. I guess maybe I'm like, why are you looking like you don't care what you're wearing? Mm-hmm. And I just want you to care. I don't care if you look comfortable. Hell, that's the look that I go for 9 times out of 10, but I want to look at least
I think
presentable.
I think what we all need to get from this is, actually, I can't even say this. Never mind.
Say it.
No, because you're going to.
No, say it. Just say it.
I think we should go shopping together. I love the clothes you got for me for Christmas, and they're amazing. But I just feel like if I don't like being uncomfortable. I don't like jeans. I prefer leggings or sweats. And I want to get a bunch of little sweat sets. I think those are cute. Loungewear sets. I think we should just go shopping at some good store. Not like, and
I hear you, but we do that. And then we're still in the same situation of you wearing stuff that I don't even know where the hell some of these clothes come from. So I'm like, where the hell did this raggedy shirt come from? Whose raggedy baby is this?
There's a couple that I know which ones you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm just like
I got them from my dad.
Yeah, and it's not even like it's a point of being loungewear because, as you say, I'm a Winnie the Pooh mom. Pants is coming off. I'm comfortable. I'm in the house. Lounging, that's different. We're going out in public. I don't want you to have no damn pajama pants on. Don't say I've never, because I've definitely had to. Karma, if you come out this house with some damn pajama pants on, we've been there.
We're getting off topic.
It's still on topic about the differences in our clothing style and everything. And it's just like, I don't. Okay, so how does it make you feel that I feel so deeply the way that I do? Because it looks like there is some uncomfortableness with me saying this and expressing it, and it's not the first time.
Do I agree with you? Yeah. But just sometimes it's, especially now, it's like I have to rush to my class. Granted, again, this is on me. I should wake up earlier. But there's just been times where it's like, I just need to throw my hair in a bun and I need to get out. And when you say I've cried. Like, Aww. So many times when you say certain things, because you'll just...
Like what? I want to know. That way I'm not saying them if I'm hurting your feelings.
Because it's just like when you're like, your boyfriend's not going to want you when you look like this. When you wear things like that. And I've been to him, I was like, the reason why it hurts me is because before you have said anything of that, I've gone to him. I was like, when I wear leggings and just a sweatshirt, I'm like... And then I look over at my friend Tammy, she's wearing a skirt or something. And I'm like, or this other girl, she's always has some good wig on and her makeup's done. And I'm like, do you wish I was doing like, not even necessarily makeup, but do you wish I had like my hair done? And do you wish I had like a more refined outfits? Like, cause it's like, be honest with me. Like, if you don't like the way that I'm dressing, I'm willing to, it's easier, it's more better to take a change when you're hearing it from someone who's your partner than your mom sometimes, no offense. Yep, but it's like, I want you to want me. And he always like, well, Karma, I love how poofy your hair is. And I just feel like sometimes it's like, and he's like, and honestly, I can't stand it when girls, because it feels fake. It doesn't feel like I'm seeing the real you, because you're just getting set up. So it's just, sometimes, and whenever I come, I was like, my mom said this and that. And he's like, Karma, I like the way you look. You're not always you look comfortable to me, you don't look homeless. Like, I just want to feel comfortable in myself. I want to wear something baggy, and I just want to be comfortable.
Okay, and I hear you, and I think we're being misunderstood when I say what I say to you in that fashion. I think that now that I know that it hurts you, It could definitely be said differently, but I don't mean it in the sense of what you just explained it. I mean it because it has nothing to do with the comfortable clothes, a comfort look, right? If that's what you're going for. It has to do with what you are putting on in that fashion of being comfort. Like I just said, it has nothing to do with wearing an oversized sweatshirt. It has to do with wearing an oversized sweatshirt that's stained. Because those are the things that I would point out. Why are you wearing? It would be when you put on some pants or some leggings and there's stains on them. So those are the things that I mean, like, look presentable. Like, that's what gets me is like, why are we wearing something that has stains on them when we're going out in public to where we should be looking presentable? Because what do I always say? Look good, feel good. And if you're already not feeling good about yourself and then you look in a mirror and you're seeing that, for me personally, I know that if I look in the mirror and I'm not seeing my best self, I won't say my best self, a presentable self, I feel blah, even more so. So I'm like, and it has nothing to do with makeup. Clearly, I don't wear makeup. I always say something when you're wearing makeup. I'm always like, you look so beautiful without it. You don't need to wear any damn makeup. So I definitely apologize I apologize that I have hurt your feelings and that was never my intention and I'm sorry. I just want you to look presentable. I want you to look good. I want you to feel good. So again, I just want to apologize to you for the way that it came off and the way that it makes you feel. I'm sorry. That was never my intention. And I apologize.
Well, I forgive you.
I just want us to look presentable. And it was a shitty thing to say for me to, I guess, not even I guess. It's a shitty thing for me to say to bring it in a relationship capacity. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's not okay. Why tell you about that? When you can accept my apology, but it's not okay, right? I hurt your feelings. That's not okay. That's never okay. So when I say sorry or anybody says sorry to you, what do I always say? You don't say it's okay. Because you don't want somebody to think that it is okay and that they could do it again. I know what you mean, but you have to say, if you accept my apology, look at me, that's one thing. But it wouldn't be okay if I did it again, right? You wouldn't like that. And I wouldn't like that. So, saying it's okay is not the correct words that should be saying. I would like to say what I also think is such a difference is that our generations as well too. I grew up in the 90s. 90s was all about.
Wait a second.
Sorry. You don't have to be sorry. What's wrong?
It's just.
What was something that was been bothering you? Well, how come you wouldn't say it?
Thinking about the things with Alyssa, you know, I just.
Oh, well, what things with her? Just the.
Like the whole thing is just. See, hurtful things were said, and it just sucks because obviously in the moment, I mean, not like adrenaline's running, but you're like just mad, and then you're like, well, why would they say this? And then it's like, okay, well now I like, for a while, like everybody's been telling me like, Karma, why are you still friends with her? And then, but it's just like, that's Alyssa. So it's just, like, I don't know, like, how do you forgive someone? It's just, like, though I come towards you, and I want, like, yes, has it been rocky? Whatever. But it's, like, it does get to one, like, you need help, and it feels like no one's telling you straight up. and then you come towards me immediately being rude, and then it's like, well, now I just, like, I can no longer deny you've laid your full character out. So it's like, just also a certain thing where I tell, like, you can't, how dare you use, like, that I was hurting as a full time. She was like, I can totally do that. And then also with certain things, it's like, when I was like, I'm not no one, I'm karma. And that goes way deeper. It's like, we've been through so much. And then she's like, that doesn't mean anything to me. There's so many ways you could take it, but I think that's hurtful.
Right. Well, that is hurtful because, I don't know, is it hurtful so much so because it's a realization of the type of friendship of really being brought to light of what you thought something was compared to now hearing it straight from her mouth?
Yeah, because I can always be like, oh, she did these things a while ago, and, like, that really sucked, whatever, but, you know, friends always have, like, little moments. But for you to just full on, like, lay it, again, your cards out on the table like that.
Yeah, so what are you going to do?
I don't know. It's hurtful. I'm hurt. And she was mean. And it's just like, I feel like we've had discommunications before, but it just, I've never seen her be so, like, mean. I've never.
Well, like I always say, hurt people hurt people.
And it just, like, I just also.
And I'm not justifying it. I just think that I don't know. This is gonna sound probably a little harsh in some ways. I just wish that I know that you just said it and that you're getting better at sticking up for yourself. And that's what brought some of this to a head, right? Is from you sticking up for yourself, saying how somebody's not going to be talking to you. And it also goes back to the fact of saying it's okay. I've said that to you many of times. It's not okay. When somebody does something wrong and they apologize, your response is not that it's okay. You've been allowing this for so many years that is what she thinks, that it's okay. It's like karma who? And I'm not saying that she doesn't care about you or anything, but we train people in how they're able to treat us. We teach them how we're able to treat us. And if you keep on allowing these things, you've allowed it for too long, and now you want to put up a blocker and have a real boundary. It's like, well, who the fuck does she think she is? Because I've been this way. We've been doing this for so long. I've been disrespecting you. You've been tolerating it. And now you want to act away? And I've been saying for so long that we can't just keep on sweeping stuff under the rug because this is what happens. It piles up, somebody's going to fall over it. And you should have said something. Granted, you're saying something now and it's turning into an extremely hurtful situation of seeing somebody's true colors even more so being brought to light.
Yeah, like, you can't. It's like, it's in your face. You can't be like, oh, well, she's going through a hard time. And then it's just also so frustrating. Like I've said before, like, also, was my friendship with Juliana the best? No, but one thing she was going to do is she didn't like something, she was going to let you know. And I remember the whole time where she would be like, hey, can we talk real quick? And I would get so nervous because none of my friends done that. And it just also reminded me that, again, when she constantly was like, well, constantly brought up her parents, where she was like, you think you know them better than me, right? And it's like, you clearly have an issue. And I've asked her before when I felt like there was a little ice shoulder. I was like, is there an issue? She's like, no, I've just been taking my cat to the vet. No, clearly you have an issue and you're just not telling me. And again, like, I point blank, where I literally go, hey girl, have you looked into therapy? And then I send her this. And then she responds to it immediately. So your little thing of going, oh, I just can't respond to every text message. No, you just can't.
You're picking and choosing.
Right. And it's just like, well, this all could have been avoided. Like,
some
if you
people
just
like to stay at a certain level sometimes, even if it's, I don't know. I'm not a therapist or anything like that, but it just seems like certain people operate at a certain level and they like to operate at that certain level. Some people like to stay at a certain capacity, and be it some people are mean and angry all the time. Like, damn, why are you mean and angry? That's just how some people like to. I won't say if they like to operate there, but it seems like it because that's where you're always at. It's just like the little, oh, you like to argue because you're always taking it there. Oh, you always like to be right because even when I say something that's even right, you then try to make it in a way to where you one up my right. Like, okay, you want to be right all the time. That's crazy, but okay. I feel like certain people just act in certain capacities and aren't able to grow. Realistically, that's what it is. It's like a lack of growth, and you're not able to be told something even in the moment of coming back and then realizing what wrongs were done. And that's why I said, oh, well, don't block her just in case that she wants to. And in no way do I think that you should be the one to apologize, but if she wants to apologize, at least, don't block the messages, because if that's something that she wants to do, and right any wrongs between you guys, hey, I was real, I don't know, going through it.
And the thing is like, I could, I'm not trying, I know you say, oh, you're too understanding, but it's like, if I truly am coming to you and you're just like, well, I think you need therapy over and over again, I can get that. But I don't think that's a good reason for her to just throwing stones at me, because in the group chat, people are telling her like, hey, they're giving her support. So you are having enough support to where and you're not coming to me personally. So I feel like you are clearly being supported. I can be like, this is really serious and concerning. You should go see someone.
Well, isn't that support, though? I guess that's why I don't understand either. It seems like support to me.
That's what I think.
Like,
so too.
I think when you tell someone they need therapy, it sounds bad to them because it's a negative connotation to most people. We're, oh, you're saying there's something wrong with me, I need help. It's almost like.
But she's recognizing that she needs help,
right,
and saying that she wants help.
But then tell me that, because
she can't, because there's something wrong with her, right? She can't, and like your mom said, she's used to you're her doormat, because you accept so much from this kid for so many years that this is the trained behavior. I can do this to you, and she's gonna be okay with it because Karma's gonna say it's okay. I still love you. We're still friends. And that's the problem. She trained someone to behave this way instead of saying, yo, don't fucking talk to me like that. If you're going to talk to me like that, then we can't be friends. Now they got something to lose. But anyway.
And people, I mean, I very well could be. I guess I could see both sides of the coin. You're saying that you want to get therapy, and then I'm supporting your need for therapy. Well, I guess it could seem a certain way, but at the same token,
the way I view it is just that I know with certain people, when you are in such a dark space, you need that push. So I'm just like, and when I first did it, people were agreeing with me. So that also, I'm just like, okay, so she must have not seen that. Since you're not telling me, I'm assuming that you just didn't see it.
Right.
Because.
And then people don't know how to express themselves in a way that when you're like, oh, how come she just doesn't say it? I mean, it could be multiple things. It could be that this is what you allowed her to do, right? That's what you allowed, I get, and trained in a certain regard, right? That this is okay. But some people lack the emotional intelligence to be able to express themselves. Like, perfect example, kids having a tantrum because they're so sleepy. It's like, go to bed. I know you're tired. Like, why are you doing all this stuff instead of just taking it down?
Right.
What are you doing? They can't operate on that capacity right yet to be like, you know, I'm getting all cranky and I'm doing all these things because I need to take a nap. I need to lay it down. But my mom knows this because she's like, it's nap time. Like something's going on, it's nap time. And she's just not there. And not everybody is. It's not even like, oh, it's just her age thing or it's just an age thing. Not everybody's there to be able to articulate themselves in an emotional capacity to be like, yeah, it makes me feel like I have a problem when you say go to therapy. I feel like I'm not being seen. And I feel like you're pushing me. I'm not saying that this is even her problem, but I'm saying if it is, she's lacking the emotional capacity and the articulation to be able to say that. Say it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. If that's a problem, then say that. But if it's something completely different, you know, then say that as well too. I shouldn't have to sit here and guess or allow disrespect to come to me. And now that you're putting up this border, it's like, who the fuck does Karma think she is to tell me I can't talk to her like that? Oh, that she's saying, oh, I'm Karma. Because if I see you just as everybody else that I see in this world, then that's nothing. If I would have read that message, it would have been something powerful to me. It would have been like, well, then also, oh, this is Karma. It would have just brought back into reality. Like, she's right. Like, this is supposed to be my best friend. I don't know why shit is getting hot and heavy.
And I feel like it'd be different if I came out the doors guns ready. I feel like, no, I think what I said was worded very nicely.
Yeah, well, just talk. I don't know. What do you want to do from this point?
Well, okay. This is the thing. And I want to... Obviously, I'm not saying that you know, you're an adult. You're not in the circle. So it's kind of just hard. Like, well, she's this and that. So it's just sometimes, like, I've considered slightly just going to Sophia and being like, I don't know if me and Alyssa can be friends anymore. And this and that. Because... Sophia, one, she's understanding, but she will also tell you, like, yeah, no, I don't think that was right. I mean, I understand your point of view, but you could have done that differently. This thing is, like, obviously, if I'm going...
Okay, but that doesn't answer my question. What do you want to do? What somebody else's opinion for you to do is irrelevant. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I just feel like, well, now I'm worried.
Worried about what?
It sounds so silly, but I just can imagine, like, also what you said with, like, Aslan. Like, I'm just worried that now it's, like, no, everybody in the group chat's going to ignore me. You know?
Well, then they're not your friends. I mean, don't hold on to something. You can't be tiptoeing and being on the eggshells because... Oh, a friend, it's not easy to lose a friend. A real friend, it's not that easy. You should be able to have... A real friend is like family in the regard. I mean, how many disagreements have we had? I'm not cutting you off and be like, I am so done with her. Mm-hmm. No, there's a thing with family that's supposed to be more deeper than anything else. That's how come when people are in relationships, they consider themselves family. When friends get so close, they consider themselves family because we're not going to be shaken up and disturbed that easily. We're still going to have certain issues and things that are going on, but we're going to be able to still come right here and figure this shit out because you're my family. This is what we do. So if that's the case, then... I'm not saying that it's easy, and I'm not saying it in like such a carefree, this is easy way, then I make room for somebody else that wants to be here for me. Those people, the names, Aslan, you just said that, prior to, you guys aren't even, like, realistically friends like that. She's just in the group that you hang out with, and that's okay. You're like friends by association. We associate with the same people, so we are in the same group together. We do things together sometimes. But how is that a friend? that I gotta sit here and tiptoe and be on eggshells. I'm worried that you're gonna say, oh, because of what you did, now we don't want to be your friend. Then they were just looking for any reason to not be your friend. Because if they felt like you just said, oh, well, Sophia would, then somebody would come to you and be like, yeah, kind of what you did was... And I don't even agree with that, because I remember when they were trying to force you to fucking apologize to Aslan because you told her ahead of time that you weren't going to need a ride. As if there was any inconvenience to her or to any family member that now I don't need your ride, that, oh, well, maybe you should apologize. The fuck you should have. You did nothing wrong. If anything, she should apologize for you for blowing that shit out of proportion. I don't need a ride. I told you first thing in the morning. Nobody was on their way to come get me. Your mom wasn't at my door and I wasn't like, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but I don't need a ride now. You asked me, oh, well, tell me now. That way we know ahead of time. And what I said, if they need to know right now, Karma, just tell them, nope, I'll get you there by any means necessary. You don't need a ride. Oh, well, I do think that you should apologize. Like, no. So I guess in some sense, no, I don't agree. They're just probably as well, too, tiptoeing on everybody's feelings. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And if you're not coming, feelings are not facts. If I hurt your feelings from something that I did and it was factual, whatever I did or said, if my delivery in that was shitty, then I apologize for that. But why would I be apologizing for the fact? It's true. I'm apologizing for my delivery or whatever it was that hurt you. Can you distinguish the difference? So,
because I feel like that's a lot of time what happened. Just even again with the whole boyfriend thing. It's like, yeah, what you're saying, again, I agree with it. But it's sometimes the words are tone. And I feel like...
Yeah, like I said, I made the clear distinction. And I do apologize for that. But I don't know. I'm not sorry that I want you to look presentable. That's a fact. Sometimes you go out here and you don't look presentable. You want to wear a big tee or comfy pants. That's fine. You could still look presentable and do those things.
Right.
So when I'm saying in that regard, that's exactly how I mean. And that is a fact. Now, when I hurt you from presenting that fact to you, that's nothing that I ever want to do. No matter what I'm doing or no matter what I'm saying, I don't ever want to hurt you with how I'm trying to deliver something to you, because how can I get you to fully take it in if it's hurtful? Then there's going to be rebellion and resistance and all these things, because the only thing that you remember, and I do the same exact thing, I don't hear any message. I just hear the tone in which you said it. All I hear is the way that you made me feel. So for that, I do apologize. And messages are hard to be delivered if it's, even when it is factual, when that tone is there. So it's not apologizing for the message, because my message is true, and no matter who it's coming from, it's apologizing for the tone and what I made you feel, right? Because my tone made you feel a certain way. Though the phrasing in which I phrased it made you feel a certain way. But I'm going to stand by the fact, girl, I don't want you. I want us to look like a freaking solid force. Look at this mama-daughter duo. Look at them out here looking good. So there are two different things, and you shouldn't be, nobody should be walking on eggshells to try to present a fact. Now, if they're trying to find a way to deliver it in a non-hurtful way, then yes, time should be taken to be able to deliver that so the message could be heard. But it shouldn't be like, oh, this factual item that I want to say, I shouldn't say because they're not going to want to hear it. Then how can you ever grow as a person if you're not taking these things in? And I don't want to be the same person that I am right now 20 years from now. I want to be able to take things in and to be able to grow. I want my character, right, to stay the same. I want to be a good person. I don't want that to change, but I definitely want to grow. I'm getting older. I want to learn more things. I want to grow in those regards. I'm definitely not the same person that I am right now that I was 20 years ago. I've grown in so many different ways. And I always want to be able to continue to grow and to hold on to knowledge. And if I'm not able to take in fact to be able to have that growth, then I'm just stunned. And I'm going to always be this type of person. I'm always going to be right here, 41-year-old Tihesha. I'm never going to be able to keep on growing. And you guys are so young and have such a life to live that you won't ever get anywhere. It does suck. And I think that it also goes down to what we say. Well, what I say are, who are they talking to? And you know, sometimes that's a problem. You're trying to bounce things off of somebody that has the same mindset and the same capacity that you have without going up a little higher of being able to gain more insight. I could gain a different variance of opinion and stuff, but if I have no knowledge
Good karma, bad mom. Good karma, bad mom. Good karma.
And we're back. Sorry about that quick little intermission. Without telling all of Karma's business, just kind of going through something emotional with some friends, and that's what triggered more feels, I guess, than what was related to the topic and why we needed a quick break. But we're back, and the last thing that we were just talking about was our differences in clothing, and that's what got everything there. But from that as well too, were you were being honest. Yeah, you were being honest about how it made you feel. And like I was saying, I apologize and I'm sorry. I just wanted to restate that again. And what we're going to do and what we're going to make sure to do is when somebody apologizes, not to be keep on beating this. Somebody apologizes, you're just going to accept it or not accept it. You don't have to accept an apology, but we're not going to say that it's okay. And this has been another successful episode. And if you want to follow us, you enjoyed what you heard, this is a weekly podcast. You can keep coming back. Karma, where can they find us?
On Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere you listen to your podcast, mainly Spotify or Apple Music.
Okay.
Underneath the name Good Karma, Bad Mom.
And you can also shoot us a message if you have any ideas for topics, if you want to send in questions, as we had today. That's how the people are reaching out to us. They're sending us emails at hello@goodkarmabadmom.com. And some episodes are also live, so of course you can interact that way. But when it's not live and you want to interact, send us an email and we'll be able to.
For in the future with like live episodes, if it's on like a streaming platform, we'll probably post on our social medias when we're streaming, so you know when to join.
Yes. And we're going to be dropping our episodes. It's going to be weekly and it's going to be Tuesday. And if we're live streaming, our episodes will be live streamed on Saturdays. We'll put all that information up on our socials as well too, so you know when we're live streaming. So
Keep it real.
ooh, keep it real, keep it honest, and keep coming back.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna sign us
I'm
out
gonna fuck with you.
Okay, today we're adding a little hand dap. I like your little closer.
Bye.
Good karma, bad mom, your new fave crew. Tell a friend tune in here so they can listen to. We get real, we heal and start spilling some tea. 100% hard with a dose of comedy.